It started with rain. Not the kind that makes you close the windows, the kind that whispers against the glass. Soft, relentless, like someone tapping, waiting to be let in. I was scrolling through my feed when I saw it. A trend, the blink challenge. Stare at the photo for 30 seconds without blinking. It looked stupid. The kind of internet junk people do for views. But the comments, that's what got me. I swear she moved. I blinked and she smiled. Don't do this after midnight. I don't know why I clicked. Maybe boredom. Maybe curiosity. Maybe something else was already watching through the screen. The video opened with a warning in red text. Do not blink when you see her. No intro, no voice, just rain sounds behind a static hum. Then the image appeared. A woman, early 20s, pale skin, eyes slightly too wide. She wasn't smiling, but her lips looked like they wanted to. I laughed. 30 seconds. I could do that. I fixed my gaze on her eyes. Deep, dark, endless. Rain outside matched the faint hiss in my headphones. The timer ticked. 15 seconds. 20. My eyes burned, but I didn't blink. Then, my monitor flickered. Just once. And I could have sworn her pupils moved. I blinked. Reflex. And when I opened my eyes again, she was smiling. I jumped back in my chair, heartbeat spiking. The image didn't move. Maybe it was compression artifacting, old video file glitches. I scrolled to the comments again. Hundreds of them. She smiled when I blinked. If you see her move, you're marked. Don't look in mirrors after doing it. My skin crawled. The lights flickered as thunder rolled outside. It was past 1 a.m. The kind of hour where shadows feel alive and reflections look back too long. I closed my laptop. Sat there listening to the rain. But the silence felt wrong. Like someone else was in the room. I told myself it was nothing. Just a trend. A trick of light. Still, I glanced at my laptop again. The screen had gone dark, sleep mode, but there was a faint reflection of my room on the black screen. And in the corner, a face. It wasn't mine. I spun around. Nothing. Just the rain dripping down the window. A car passing in the distance. I touched my chest, heart racing too fast. Okay, I whispered to myself, you're tired. It's late. I shut the laptop fully and went to bed. But even lying down, I could still see her eyes. Wide. Empty. Unblinking. Every time I closed mine, her faint smile burned behind them. I must have drifted off, or maybe I never did. Because around 3 a.m., I heard it. A soft click. Laptop lid opening. The blue glow spilled across the room. And I heard a whisper, almost like static forming words. Don't blink. My eyes snapped open. The laptop was on again. Same video paused mid-frame. But the woman's head was tilted now. A little to the side. Like she was listening. Rain hammered harder. Lightning flashed. I reached for the laptop. Screen flickered again, and the image blinked. Not me, her. I slammed it shut. Silence. Except one faint sound from behind me. A wet inhale. I didn't move for a long time. Just listened. Rain against the glass. My own breath. And that sound, slow, wet, and close. It came again. Like someone taking a breath through water. I turned on the lamp. No one. Just shadows stretching across the room like they were trying to hide something. The kind of silence that feels intentional. I opened the laptop again, half expecting the screen to stay black. But the video had reset to the beginning. The same warning in red text, "Do not blink when you see her." Except this time, the rain in the video matched the sound outside. Perfectly. Every drop, every tap, in sync. Like the video was listening to my world. I tried to shut it down, but the mouse didn't move. The cursor stayed frozen. Then the screen flickered again, and her face filled it. Closer now. No border. Just her. Her eyes didn't move. But I could feel her watching. My webcam light turned on. I wasn't touching anything. And on the screen, she began to lean forward, like she was pushing against glass. No sound. No static. Just her slow, deliberate movement. I tore the plug from the wall. The screen went black. The webcam light stayed on. I grabbed my phone, started recording. Some part of me needed proof. But when I looked through the camera lens, she was there, standing behind me. I froze. Didn't turn. Didn't breathe. Through the phone, I saw her reflection in the window, smiling again. I lowered the phone. Nothing there. Raised it again. And there she was. I threw the phone on the bed and backed toward the door. That's when the lights cut out. Pitch black. Only rain and my heartbeat. I tried to find my way to the hall, but something cold brushed my arm. A fingertip, soft and deliberate. I whispered, "Who's there?" No answer. Just the faint sound of breathing, but not in front of me. Above. I looked up. For a second, just one, I saw a shape on the ceiling. Long limbs. Face pale and inverted. Eyes open. Unblinking. Lightning flashed, and she was gone. I stumbled out into the hall. The power was dead. The building silent except for the rain. Every door I passed looked wrong, slightly open, or not where it should be. Like the hallway had been rearranged while I blinked. I made it to the elevator. Pressed the button again and again. It opened. But inside. Mirrors. All four walls. My reflection stared back, except, not all of them blinked when I did. The back one, the far reflection, it kept staring. And then, slowly, the reflection smiled. Not me. Not any me. Her. I stepped back. The elevator doors closed, and her face stayed, pressed against the glass inside. I took the stairs. Outside, the rain felt wrong, heavier than before. Like the air itself had weight. The street lights flickered. Every window on my building glowed faintly blue. I looked down at my reflection in a puddle, and saw her instead, staring up at me from beneath the surface. Her lips moved, but the rain drowned the words. I dropped to my knees, shouting, "What do you want?" And for the first time, she blinked. I woke up hours later, or maybe I never slept. The rain was still falling. My phone was still recording, battery somehow full. The video file was playing back by itself. But it wasn't showing me. It was showing her, sitting where I had been, looking into the camera. She whispered something, but it came out distorted, words melting under static. I replayed it, slowing the audio down. 3 words. Don't blink again. I shut the phone off and looked up, and there she was. Not on any screen. Not behind glass. Standing. In my room. So close I could see her reflection in my eyes. She didn't move. Didn't breathe. Just stared. Waiting. My eyelids burned. Tears stung. Every instinct screamed to blink. But I didn't. And for a moment, she looked almost sad. Then the lights flickered. And she was gone. I thought it was over. But that was the beginning. Morning never came. Or maybe it did, but the light couldn't get in. Every window had turned the same grey as the screen I tried to forget. I stayed in bed, eyes open until they burned. If I closed them, I saw her. If I blinked, I felt her. The rain hadn't stopped. It had rhythm now, tapping in 3s. Like a heartbeat trying to sync with mine. I tried calling someone, anyone. No signal. Every contact on my phone had been renamed the same way, her. I threw the phone across the room. It hit the mirror. Cracked. The reflection split, but she was still whole inside it. Smiling. That's when the whisper started again. Low. Steady. Too close. Why did you blink? I turned. Nothing there. Leave me alone. The whisper came again. Softer now. Don't blame me. You let me in. I backed into the corner. The mirror kept showing movement behind me, though the room was still. Every flash of lightning changed the angle. Like she was circling. I covered my eyes. Rain grew louder, heavier, until it sounded like footsteps. Wet ones. Approaching. Please, I said. I'm sorry. Silence. Then, faintly, another voice, mine. From the laptop speakers. Don't blink. I turned. The laptop was open again. The camera on. And on the screen, me. Except I wasn't moving. Just staring back, unblinking. Behind that version of me, she appeared. Her hands on my shoulders. Her head lowering until her mouth touched my ear. The playback whispered the same thing I heard now in the room. You let me see. I tried to smash the laptop. The power cut, screen dead, but her reflection stayed. Trapped under the cracked glass. Moving. Pressing. Like she was testing how thin the line between here and there had become. And then the power came back, only on the laptop. The words appeared, typed by themselves. Don't blink again. I ran to the bathroom, splashed water on my face. Looked up, wrong move. In the fogged mirror, I saw her behind me again. Closer than before. Her head tilted the other way now, curious, almost tender. And her eyes weren't dark anymore. They were mine. The lights flickered, water still running. When I looked down, the puddle at my feet rippled out of sync with the drops. Something beneath the surface was breathing. The whisper rose from the drain. Trade places. I backed out, heart hammering so hard I couldn't hear the rain anymore. Only static. Only her. I stumbled to my desk, grabbed my phone, and started recording again. If someone found it, maybe they'd understand. This is my last warning, I said. My voice shook. If you see her picture, don't blink. Don't. A sound cut me off, the soft click of a camera shutter. The phone screen froze. The reflection in it blinked once. Not me. Her. The recording continued, but I couldn't move. The image of me on screen smiled, slow and wrong. The background behind him began to change, rain stopping, light shifting, everything inverted. And then he spoke. My voice, but not from my mouth. You looked too long. The power surged. Every light in the room exploded white. For a second, the whole world froze, like the frame of a photograph. And then, nothing. Silence. Darkness. Only the rain. They found the apartment days later. The laptop still running. The webcam still on. But no one was here. Just a looping video file, 30 seconds long. A still image of a man staring at the screen. If you pause it at the right frame, you can see someone else standing behind him. And if you watch long enough, her eyes move. The storm had been going for hours before I even noticed it. Heavy rain hitting the roof like knuckles tapping, 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 not needing permission to come in. I should have been asleep. Everyone else in the neighborhood was. But I was wide awake, trapped in that late-night boredom where the mind wanders into places it shouldn't. That's when the notification popped up. No sound. No blinking icon. Just a link. A single line of text with a timestamp. Midnight, no sender. No preview. Just 0, 0, 0, 0. It felt like a threat pretending to be an invitation, and I should have ignored it. I know that now. But curiosity grows louder in the dark. So loud you mistake it for your own voice. So I clicked the link. The screen went black. Not off, just black, like something dark was pressed against the other side of the glass. A faint glow pulsed behind the darkness, a shape building itself from static. Then the scene popped into focus. A dim hallway, old, rotting wallpaper peeling like burned skin, and a single figure standing at the far end. I leaned closer, trying to understand what I was looking at. The figure shifted, a slow, unnatural movement, like a marionette pulled by invisible strings. When the camera shook, the frame caught his face, and my breath cracked in my throat. It was me. Not a look-alike, not a glitch. Me. Every scar, every freckle, every tired line in my eyes. I stared at the camera. Then his shoulders lifted, like he was inhaling for the first time in hours, like his lungs were surprised by air. He leaned in. The hallway lights flickered, and the screen dimmed again. Then I heard it. My voice, from the speakers. Low, hollow, raspy, like someone had dragged it across concrete. Don't turn around. The words punched the air out of my lungs. I didn't move. My bones locked. My spine prickled like insects crawling under the skin. I stared at the back wall of my room, refusing to look anywhere else. I wasn't going to fall for some stupid jump scare. It was just a video, right? Just a trick. But then the air behind me shifted. Not wind, not temperature, presence. As if something tall was leaning over the back of my chair. I swallowed hard. My throat clicked loudly in the silence. Too loudly, because the moment I swallowed, the breathing behind me stopped. And the video me whispered again, "Too late." The room went silent, perfectly silent, like the storm outside had been switched off. I pressed my palms into the desk, hard, trying to ground myself, trying to convince myself it was nothing but fear. But fear doesn't make the world go quiet. Fear doesn't cut the rain out of existence. Fear doesn't make shadows breathe. Whatever was behind me was waiting. Then the figure on the screen, the other me, reached out toward the camera, his arm jerking in a grotesque, lagging motion. His fingers tapped the lens. Once, twice, a warning. Run. I bolted from the chair. My foot caught the edge of the rug and I stumbled, slamming into the wall. But I didn't stop. I sprinted down the hallway, slipping on the hardwood, reaching for the bathroom door. I twisted the lock. The click echoed like a gunshot. The second it locked, the rain came back, a deafening roar. I pressed my back to the door, listening, hoping, praying. No footsteps, no breathing, just the storm. I finally looked up, right into the mirror. And my reflection didn't move. I blinked. It didn't. I stepped forward. It stayed still. Its head tilted unnaturally slow, too smooth, too controlled, like a puppet waiting for its master's hand. I whispered, "What are you?" But the reflection mouthed something else, something that wasn't a word. It mouthed, "A date. The date my brother died." My knees wept out from under me. I clung to the sink to keep from collapsing. When I looked up again, my reflection had changed. Its eyes were gone, just dark, wet voids. Its mouth twitched into a crooked smile. Not cruel, not angry, just patient. Then, in the dark mirror, something moved behind the reflection. A tall, bending shape with too many joints and a face that looked blurred, erased, censored by the universe. It leaned close to the face that looked like mine, and whispered, "You opened the door." My breath caught. My chest tightened. The light in the bathroom flickered violently. My reflection raised a hand and pointed behind me. My skin went cold, ice blooming across my spine, slowly, deliberately. I squeezed my eyes shut. If I didn't look, maybe it wouldn't. The door handle rattled. Once, twice, then a slow, dragging scrape across the wood. Something pressed its weight against the door. The frame groaned. The hinges strained. Then, nothing. No sound. No breathing. Just the throb of my heartbeat. When I opened my eyes, the mirror was normal. My reflection was normal. Except, its shirt was wet. Soaking. Dripping. I touched my own shirt. Dry. "Come out. My reflection whispered. Its voice wasn't mine. It was older, tired, hungry. I slid to the floor and sat there for minutes, or hours, I'm not sure. Time in fear doesn't move forward. It circles, repeats, loops. Finally, I forced myself up. The mirror was foggy now, from my own breath. A good sign. A human sign. But when I wiped the fog away, there were handprints on the other side. Not mine. Too long. Too thin. And slowly, they began to slide downward. I threw the door open and ran. Straight into the hallway, where the video on my laptop was still playing. Except now, the me inside the frame was standing in my hallway. He stared at the camera, at me, with a blank, corpse-like expression. Then he lifted his hand and pointed to the stairs. A shadow moved down there. Slow. Crawling. Clicking. I didn't wait to see it. I ran into my bedroom, slammed the door, and shoved the dresser against it. My laptop screen flickered again. A new message appeared, typed by invisible fingers. 3 seconds. Look outside. I didn't want to. I swear I didn't. But fear drags you toward answers. So I opened the curtain. Rain hammered the glass. Lightning flashed white across the yard. And standing in the middle of it was me, soaked, still, staring straight at my window. His head twitched upward, one sharp jerk, like a marionette pulled by an impatient hand. Then he smiled. A wide, splitting smile that wasn't human. The figure inside the yard raised a hand and reached toward the air, as if he were grabbing something right next to me. Then I heard breathing in my room. Behind me. Slow. Deep. Wrong. I turned, but there was nothing. Just shadows thickened by fear. Lightning flashed again, and my reflection in the window no longer matched me. It was leaning forward, smiling. "It's your turn," it mouthed. No sound, just a promise. The dresser behind me groaned. Something pushed from the other side of the door. Hard. Hungry. Then my laptop chimed. A new line of text appeared. "Midnight, it's inside." The light went out. The storm vanished. Silence swallowed everything. When I woke up, I was sitting at my desk again, back where this started, drenched in sweat, breathing fire. The link was still on the screen, still waiting, still blinking. Midnight. I didn't click it. I swear I didn't. But someone else did. Someone on the other end. Someone whose face isn't theirs anymore. And if that link ever arrives in your inbox, don't click it. Don't look at it. Don't even breathe near it. Because what watches you from the other side has been waiting a long, long time. And if the rain ever suddenly stops, don't turn around. I'm going to tell you something I've never told another living soul. Not my family, not the police, not the therapist they made me talk to afterward. Because if I say this out loud, if I finally get the words out, maybe someone else will understand. Maybe someone else will see the warning signs I ignored. This is how I survived the night my phone wanted me dead, and how you might not. It began on a night that felt wrong before anything actually happened. You know those nights when the rain sounds too focused, like it's falling just outside your window, and nowhere else in the world? That night felt like that, as if the storm was aimed at me. I couldn't sleep, not because of any noise, but because of the silence between the noises, the kind of silence that feels alive. I turned over in bed, checking my phone out of habit. Time, 2:33 a.m. And then it lit up on its own. Not with the usual battery low or mail update. No, a single word. One I still see in my dreams, awake. I thought my eyes were messing with me, reflections, hallucinations, insomnia. But the phone vibrated. Just once, like a pulse. Before I could touch it, before I could blink, the message changed. Good. Keep listening. I sat up straight, heart pounding. I hadn't even unlocked the screen. Was it some sick prank? A hack? But there was no app open. No notifications. Just the words, like they were burned into the glass. The rain outside slowed. Not stopped, just slowed. Like the storm was holding its breath. Like it wanted to hear my reaction. My phone flashed again, brighter this time. Do not look outside. And that's exactly when I looked. The street below my window was empty, but the darkness felt too thick. Like the shadows had weight. Then, something moved. A shape stepped into the faint orange of the streetlight. Tall. Wrong. Elbows bent too far backward, like broken hinges. Head tilted too far sideways, like its neck was made of wires instead of bone. I jerked away from the window, heart threatening to break through my ribs. And the phone lit again. Good. You learn. My hands shook so badly I almost dropped it. But before I could think, another line appeared, typed slowly, letter by letter, as though someone invisible was moving my fingers from inside the screen. We hear you. Asterisk, asterisk, we. Plural. Not just one thing outside. Several. I swallowed hard and opened my mouth, but no sound came out. My room felt colder. Like the air itself was being pulled away. The phone buzzed. Obey. Or we come in. The first command stared at me. Turn around. My throat locked. My muscles refused. I didn't want to turn. I couldn't turn. But something brushed the back of my neck, icy, deliberate, almost curious. I turned. Nothing there. Just darkness deeper than it should have been. A shadow that wasn't shaped like a shadow. A darker corner where no corner existed. The kind of darkness that feels aware. My chest tightened. Breath short. Heart hammering. The phone vibrated again. Run. I didn't think. I sprinted. Past the hallway. Past the kitchen. Into the living room. Slamming into furniture I knew by heart because I couldn't see anything but dim outlines. Behind me, breathing. Loud. Wet. Inhuman. The room flickered like the rain itself had static. And then the lights died. I froze. The dark thickened, crawling toward me like ink. Then another message popped on the screen. The door. It didn't mean the front door. It meant the back door, the one nobody uses. I heard a metallic groan. Something pressing against it from the outside. I ran to it, stupidly hoping for escape. The moment I touched the handle, the phone flared, "Do not open that door." Thunder cracked outside, so bright it lit the backyard for a split second. And in that split second, I saw them. More than one. More than 10. Dozens. Tall. Crooked. Wrong. Their limbs bending backward. Heads twitching. And all of them facing my house. Listening. Listening for me. I stumbled back, whispering a prayer without meaning. The phone buzzed, but it wasn't a text. It was a voice. My voice. We're already inside. I spun around, but all I saw was darkness tightening like a fist. It felt alive, like something unseen was breathing right beside me. The phone glowed. How you escape depends on your memory. Memory? Memory of what? Then it typed, "Tell US what you saw outside." No, no, no. Saying it would somehow give them shape, give them power, give them permission. I refused. I stayed silent. The phone typed on its own again, wrong. A cold presence closed around my wrist. Not flesh, not air, like static forming fingers, pulling me toward the darkness. I ripped away, sprinting for the garage, the only room without windows. I slammed the door shut and locked it, sat against it, gasping. For a moment, I believed I was safe. Then the garage door rattled. Hard. Metal screeching like something was trying to peel it open. Like nails dragging across steel. I grabbed the crowbar, raised it, and waited. The whole house trembled with pounding, from walls, windows, floors. They were trying to get in, or trying to get me out. Then everything stopped. All at once. The pounding, the breathing, even the rain paused. Silence. Heavy. Absolute. My phone, still lying on the living room floor behind the door, lit up through the gap at the bottom, and the screen showed a face. My face. But stretched, distorted, smiling too wide. Eyes too dark. Teeth too sharp. It whispered, "Let us in, or we'll drag you out." The garage lights died. The darkness thickened. Shapes uncurled from the corners. I couldn't see them clearly, but I felt their eyes. Felt their hunger. Then, the phone flashed again. Bright. A message, "Run to the street." I didn't question it. I didn't hesitate. I bolted through the side door, bursting into the storm. Barefoot. Bleeding from my palms. Rain chilling me to the bone. I didn't look back until I reached the nearest street lamp. And when I did, my house was glowing. Lit from the inside by shapes pressed against every wall. Every window. Every door. Like shadows glued to the glass. They weren't trying to get in anymore. They were already inside. And in front of me, lying perfectly still, on the sidewalk, was my phone. Waiting. Screen black. Until the moment I stepped close. It lit up. "We're done with you." The screen cracked. Went dark again. And stayed dark. The storm returned to its normal rhythm. The world looked real again. But I didn't feel real. Not anymore. Not after what I saw. Weeks passed. No more messages. No more noises. No more shapes. Just constant paranoia. Lost sleep. Closed curtains. I try to forget. Try to convince myself it was hallucination. Shock. Nightmare. Until today. 10 minutes ago. The phone lit up again for the first time. One word. Awake. And then a second line appeared, right before I started recording this. Pass this to another. Or die tonight. So now I'm passing it to you. Be careful with your phone. Be careful with every notification. Because now you know how I survived the night my phone wanted me dead. And now the question is, will you?